What's up everybody, Jesse here with another quick news roundup. Just like my last video, this will be more on the quick side. Instead of giving the news and spending a few minutes talking about it, I'm going to give the news, some brief thoughts, and move on. But before we get started, if you're a fan of this channel, feel free to join our public Discord. Links will be in the description and the top pinned comment. If you want to keep up to date on news from videos like this, please subscribe so you don't miss out, and with all of that out of the way, let's get started. To start out, we have Zelda's voice actor sharing her inspiration for the role. The following comes from a Game Rant interview with Patricia Somerset. Game Rant asks, "Where do you draw inspiration from when auditioning for the role of Zelda?" Patricia responded with, "Well, when I auditioned for the role, I didn't know what I was auditioning for, so I was more going with the themes of this kind of cadence and what they were looking for. You know, an interpretation of, when I first came in with my initial ideas, I had a feeling it was a princess. She was younger, but had the weight of the world on her shoulders, and had a kind of timeless or ageless quality, where age was not necessarily equivalent to the age on paper. And yeah, that she had a sort of regal sense to her. That's kind of what I picked up from a breakdown of it. So that's what I initially went with. Once I found out that I got the part, which was quite further down in the process, we started recording. I think a lot of the decisions have been made about what the direction would be anyway. So it was negotiations between, I guess, my sensibilities and that of Nintendo's vision. Next on our list, Splatoon has a new manga launching on the 15th of May. Not too much information is given, only that Sonkichi Hinadea will launch a new Splatoon manga starting in the magazine's June issue. The issue ships on May 15th. The May issue also published a full-color preview chapter of the manga. I actually think this is really great because it will be a good way to add some more story to the series, if the manga ends up becoming canon. It could end up like all of the Zelda manga, which adds more story but isn't counted as actual fact. For example, A Link to the Past had 2 or 3 separate manga and comic series, and they all had different conflicting stories to the actual game. So even though you may consider, for example, Majora's Mask's manga story better than the actual games, that doesn't necessarily mean it's canon. It's basically just glorified fanfiction. Third up, we have Zelda Breath of the Wild's new patch, which removes the infinite arrow exploit. Nintendo just says adjustments have been made to make for a more pleasant gaming experience. But what they really mean is they tried improving the frame rate issues once again, which have gotten better from past updates, but they also have seemed to fix a few more things like the glitch that allowed you to collect a countless amount of arrows, and we're not exactly sure on everything else that was fixed or changed, but the biggest seems to be the arrow exploit that everybody was using. Next on the list, Microsoft admits to having scrapped plans of a more powerful Xbox console that would have came out in 2016. You have to remember that leading up to E3, Microsoft and PlayStation were telling everyone who asked that no additional console was being planned. Then, at E3, Microsoft ended up announcing 2 new consoles, the One S and Project Scorpio. In the quote, Spencer said, "We designed a console for 2016 and a console for 2017. We were kind of working on both plans simultaneously. At some point we said, I think we need to do more than what the silicon is that's available in 2016 at a price point that a console customer would want to pay. So that's when we stopped that effort. We said, okay, we're going to put all of our weight and execution capability of the hardware team behind delivering a high-powered console in 2017. That's completely geared towards 4K. He then mentioned Sony's 2016 console, the PlayStation 4 Pro, and said, "Sometimes I get in trouble when I talk about Sony too much, but the choice they made on PlayStation 4 Pro, I totally get that choice. From their perspective and what they wanted to go do, they built a good 2016 PS4 Pro with the silicon that was available. They picked the parts that made sense to go and put together for a console in 2016. Next up, Battlefront 2 has a new trailer that makes the game look like one of the best looking games to have ever existed. But I'm really curious to see how the actual game looks on PS4 and Xbox One, as well as a high-end 4K computer, and the PS4 Pro and Xbox Scorpio. I'm not completely sure on this, but it's thought that you actually play the story mode as the bad guy. But perhaps we will also be able to play as a good guy and swap roles to get the full story from both perspectives. It would also be interesting if you can change from the dark side to the light side, or from the light side to the dark side. But it seems like we're just going to have to wait until E3 to get more news on this. Nintendo's UK online store is releasing an ARMS stress ball glove available with pre-order, so that's cool, I guess. And this is one of those things that it's cool that you're getting something extra for pre-ordering, so there is kind of a bonus there, but whenever it's a stress ball, why couldn't they do something to where, like, if you pre-order it, you'll get an exclusive amiibo or like a little statue or something that someone would actually use? I don't necessarily see people being too excited about a stress ball, but again, something is better than nothing, and I guess we're kind of spoiled to expect to get something for free from just pre-ordering a game. Moving on, Go Nintendo says Italy joins the list of places the NES Classic Edition is being discontinued. So that sucks. It's not just America and Japan. All over the world, Nintendo is discontinuing the product. It makes me wonder if they're discontinuing it, that way they can give a bigger push to the NES games and Super Nintendo games coming to the Nintendo Switch's Virtual Console. After all, E3 is only a couple of months away, and I expect they'll reveal a lot more then. And it would be kind of odd to have a $60 console directly competing with your $300 Switch, especially if you end up putting all of those games on the NES Classic onto the Nintendo Switch's Virtual Console. Next, we have a new look at a lot of new Amiibo. I'm excited for the Cloud Amiibo and the Zelda Amiibo, so here's a quick look at all of them, but let me know which you're excited for. Once again, if you're a fan of this channel, feel free to join our public Discord to chat with fans of this channel, myself, and fans of Nintendo and Zelda. Please subscribe, like, and leave your thoughts on today's news in the comments below. And once again, I want to give a shout out to my top 10 best and worst of Breath of the Wild. So if you want, please go check out that video. I want to thank you all for watching this video and welcome to the end slate. If you're a fan of these videos, you can follow me on Twitter for updates on future videos at GameOverJesse. Please subscribe, like, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you would like to watch even more of my videos, click the video to the left or let me know what types of videos you would like to see in the future. I would like to take the rest of this time to thank all of my Patreon supporters. If you're a fan of this channel and would also like to help us out by becoming a Patreon supporter and get some awesome rewards for yourself, like being a part of my videos, shoutouts, custom avatars, giveaways, being added to our private Discord to chat during live streams, and more, please visit patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where even smaller supporters at the $1 level will get you some awesome stuff. Finally, a huge thank you to this month's supporters: George Says Hi, Link Uses the Triforce, Transcendent Sacred Courage, Glenn Cassio, Prey Warrior, Victopedia, Rusty Caulfield, Robert W., Amanda Pina, Lunarium, Chris Gasparin, Harris Priest, Lovable Christie, Key of Time 15, Jerome Measure, Daryl Quinnen, Furzin 16, Kadron, Magic Tech Review, and the Itch Network.